Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's edition of LinkedIn Live here at the beginning of February 2022. My name is Matt Lozar, Director of Recruitment Marketing at Haley Marketing, and we are going to be talking about social recruiting today and the changes coming to Facebook jobs in a few weeks here. We'll be bringing on our Chief Strategy Officer, Brad Smith, here in a little bit. And just a reminder here on quick updates here from Haley Marketing. As always, check out the Secrets of Staffing Success podcast. Myself and Brad Biley have a new episode coming. We'll be talking a lot about social media, how to increase your engagement across some different metrics. And our co-CEOs, David Stearns and Victoria Kenward, recently interviewed the CEO at Talruth, Thad Price, where he talks a lot about technology and job advertising. Really great discussion there. Subscribe to the Secrets of Staffing Success on your favorite podcast player. And as always, check out recruitmentmarketers.com. A lot of great content over there. Recently updated the case studies section with 3 or 4 new case studies. We'll be adding some more here throughout the 2022. Great successes from our job advertising clients. And as always, check out haleymarketing.com. But now I wanted to bring on Brad Smith, our Chief Strategy Officer, and we're going to be talking about the changes coming to Facebook jobs. And Brad, thanks for coming back here on LinkedIn Live.
Matt, thanks so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Facebook jobs has been around, I think, 5-ish years, around 2017. They beta tested a little earlier and rolled it out United States, Canada then, and worldwide a little after that. But on Tuesday, February 22nd, 2022, all twos across the board, they're going to be making some big changes to Facebook jobs, which is going to be a challenge especially for staffing and recruiting companies, but a lot of high volume hires. What changes are coming to companies with the Facebook jobs platform?
So, Matt, some big changes are coming, actually. And for the last few years, Facebook has been a pretty good source of volume of candidates. So we had the opportunity in the past to post open job opportunities and get those over into the Facebook jobs marketplace where candidates could search for positions. At first, they would apply and it would send back through to Messenger, which was a headache. Then there were some integrations. Specifically, Haley Marketing's DevOps team worked closely to get accepted into Facebook's partner integration program so applications could parse back into the ATS. Unfortunately, all of those features that I just mentioned that were driving candidates and driving visibility are disappearing. A few other changes, job groups on Facebook, they're going to become general groups. So any groups that were specifically denoted with the jobs group type will be converted and will no longer be available. Those partner integrations are disappearing. So now any applications that do potentially come through, and we'll see a decrease there, are going to go in through Messenger. So it's going to be an administrative challenge for you, for staffing companies, for employers in general, to review Messenger, look at those applications, and then copy and paste that out into their ATS. And the Facebook jobs browser will be removed. So what that effectively means is you can still post jobs to your Facebook company page. Okay, there's a jobs tab there. You can still post them there, and you can still post them on your wall as an update. But they'll no longer be combined into this mass index where a candidate can easily go search for any positions. So effectively, what happens is for a job seeker to find your job opportunities, they're going to have to, number one, know your company by name and go to your Facebook page. Number two, they're going to have to think to navigate to the jobs tab, search for applications, and apply. I will tell you from my experience, they won't do that. They're not going to go to your page. They're not going to go to that tab and apply. So the best thing that you can do right now for the free option is to post to your company wall as an update and hope that people see it. But again, we're going to see a big decrease in candidate flow from Facebook.
I hear a lot of friction.
That's what I hear. There is a lot of friction. It's unfortunate. I think it was a nice feature for job seekers. It was a great feature for staffing companies and employers that were using it effectively. And we're going to see this in a candidate shortage. We're going to see another piece of candidate traffic disappear, unfortunately.
In talking with companies, this was announced end of December 2021, started to roll out, and I think it's starting to catch more waves, especially as the deadline's coming up. But in talking with companies, the feed of jobs being removed sounds like a big deal because staffing companies have dozens, hundreds of jobs at once, and now you'd have to manually post them, which eliminates all automation and efficiency. And then I think the other thing, besides the challenge of getting someone to go to your company page, is people were just going to the marketplace and searching for jobs, like a job aggregator, similar to Indeed, ZipRecruiter, your other job boards, and it's going away, which is what Brad I think is talking about here. Is people have to go to Matt's staffing agency's Facebook page. First of all, they have to know Matt has a staffing agency. Then go to my company page, go to the jobs tab, then apply. That's what I was talking about with friction. And if you look at Indeed analytics, similar trends everywhere. The only company people are really searching for, like I actually looked at this yesterday with a client, was we're looking for like warehouse jobs in Georgia. Number one on the list was Amazon. That's the only company people go in and type. They're not going to type in your small business as much as you think they will. They probably won't. So that's going to be a big challenge.
Yeah, and Matt, you mentioned automated feeds. So you had the opportunity to send all of those job postings into the aggregator on Facebook. That disappears. You could go manually post those on your wall,
Mhm.
but I wouldn't suggest manually posting every single job because with Facebook's algorithm, they are looking at the engagement that a post gets. So let's say you just spam the heck out of your Facebook company page and post 30 jobs a day. Each one of those jobs is going to get extremely minimal engagement, and that's going to hurt your overall company reach. So
Mhm.
you really need to be picky and choosy and just take the best opportunities, the highest paying positions, the most attractive end employers, something that really stands out, and focus on that one post as opposed to spamming your page with dozens and dozens of jobs a day.
One last thought here before we go to the change. What can you do to overcome? People ask why. One, I don't know why. Brad doesn't know why. Haley Marketing doesn't know why. Most people don't know why. It's Meta, it's Facebook, choose your word. They're making a change. But something we've always gone back to with Facebook, two things they like. Revenue. They must not be making revenue off this. And two, people must be leaving Facebook when engaging with these jobs, or something's happening there. Those are the two things they like. They like to make money, they're a business, but also they want you to spend as much time as physically possible in their platform because that's how they also make money. So that's my why. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that, Brad, because it's a question we get a lot and we honestly have no idea, but just reading the tea leaves over time, those two things make sense.
Yeah, it does make a lot of sense, Matt. And it was always a beta program to begin with.
Mhm.
It was never a formal feature. It was always in beta. And I think you're probably dead on. They're probably seeing some drop off on the platform after job searches. The other thing is, I would guess at some point they'll look for a way to monetize this and
Mhm.
bring job search and maybe even careers and maybe work in general into the metaverse. So I would bet that over the coming years, we're going to see some massive changes and investments there. But as of right now, it hurts.
They also were caught up in some nasty lawsuits a few years ago, which I know they didn't like with all their job advertising targeting, which
Yep.
what they pivoted from. So let's shift to the positive, I guess. What can we do now? What can companies do? Brad wrote a really awesome blog on haleymarketing.com, getting a lot of traffic, a lot of engagement, a lot of helpful tips in there. But let's walk through what can companies do, Brad, to overcome this, the loss of applications that are going to happen.
Yeah, playing off the last point, Matt, Facebook's looking to monetize. It's going to be a pay to play situation. So if you want to get your job opportunities in front of new people that you're no longer getting because they can't search for those in the marketplace, you're going to have to pay. You're going to have to put some paid spend to boost your jobs or run some very targeted Facebook ad campaigns to get in front of that right audience. Again, as Matt mentioned, you need to be a little bit careful in your targeting options for equal opportunity employment, but you're gonna pay to get that reach that you were getting potentially for free before. The next thing you need to do is look to build a stronger, more engaged following for your Facebook page. So you can do this organically. You can do this in the real world, encourage in your onboarding process with employees to go like, follow, and comment on your Facebook page. But I'd also encourage you to do a paid follower campaign. So look at the geographic market or markets that you serve, or the industry that you serve. Look to build more organic followers there. And I mentioned this earlier, but don't just spam the heck out of your page and add job after job after job. Pick the best opportunities, pick great engaging content, have some fun, have some humor, and that's going to help create more user engagement. You can get more user engagement, people liking, commenting, and sharing that content. Facebook's algorithm is going to show that to a lot more people over time. Now, that engagement can also start internally. Get your internal staff, your internal recruiters to like, comment, and share on your company Facebook page. They begin sharing that on their personal networks. That's going to greatly extend and expand your reach, get you in front of new people with that singular post, and get more people to follow your company brand on Facebook. And then, I've mentioned a few times not to spam your page, but I think overall we need to stop being job focused. Okay. Jobs come and go. We need to build our employment brand on LinkedIn, or on LinkedIn, but also on Facebook, everywhere. We need to focus on what we can do to be a top employer and a destination for job seekers. Okay, how do you do this? This could be testimonials. This could be case studies. This could be featuring great employers in the market that you work with. This could be outlining how you help people increase their pay rate. This could outline how you help them transfer their skills to a different position, or maybe shorten their commute. Think of all those reasons that a candidate would take a new job opportunity, and build your employment brand around that. You could easily become the most reviewed or the highest reviewed staffing company in your market and promote the heck out of that. Okay, there's not a lot of staffing companies on Facebook that have done a great job at building a ton of reviews. You have an opportunity there to really build your brand and be seen as the staffing company that people want to work for in your market. And then, the last tip is really get aggressive other places. Okay, we are going to see a decrease. Even if you do all those things I just mentioned, you're probably going to see a decrease in applications. So Matt is on here all the time talking about what you can do from a recruitment marketing standpoint. Go back and re-listen to those episodes. Start implementing all of those other things. Look to be more effective and strategic in your job board spend, so that you drive more applications and you replace the loss from Facebook. Leverage and use technology to replace that loss, and look for other ways, again, just to be smarter. And then, Matt, another thing that just came to mind: leverage your ATS. So many staffing companies, many employers have generated a gigantic list in their ATS, and it's just sitting there doing nothing. Let's export that list. Let's load it into Facebook's ad manager. Let's retarget that list. Let's use Google campaigns. Let's use candidate engagement platforms like a Sense or a Herefish, and build in re-engagement journeys and programs to reactivate, re-incentivize, drive more referrals from our existing ETS database. So I think there's a lot of things that you can do. But again, we're going to see a little bit of a loss. So we need to get a little scrappy and strategic to make sure that we replace that.
The overall takeaway here is it's going to be a lot harder to be granular, and it's going to have to be more of an all-encompassing approach. And what I mean by that is Brad talking about can't just focus on be job centric. It has to be company centric or brand focused. If it's the ATS, you're not going to go in and post 10 jobs a day, promote them, boost them all the time. I guess you could, but that sounds like we're setting ourselves up to fail there. It's really promoting your brand, promoting your company, and say, hey, Matt Staffing Agency, what's the frustration for people in your market? Is it schedule? Is it the wages? Is it bad working conditions? Whatever it is, talk about that. Have some great imagery, have some great copy, target the right people, and get them to connect with your company. Showcase a testimonial of a great manager or someone that really highlights your company. And I think by not just being job focused, you can start to build that candidate pool and your bench overall, something Brad's talked about forever, build that candidate bench and really try to focus on that employer brand through your organic posting or through your overall, your paid posting, because engagement works. Look at when you go to Facebook, it's either going to be a group post that shows up in your timeline, or it's probably going to be something that's COVID related, politics related, sports related, music related, because those posts get all the engagement. If you can come up with a really good post that's it's company focused, once a week, that's going to dominate some timelines. So that was with me, I think, just focusing on overall approach and not getting really, really granular all the time.
Yeah, for sure. Build that brand, build your reputation, build the brand of your individual recruiters, extend that reach. That combined effort is going to be way more effective by being singularly job focused.
Mhm. Anything else, Brad? We hit on a lot here, but I think it was really helpful for the audience.
Matt, you brought up a good point. You mentioned groups. I think groups are still viable. Leverage Facebook groups. A lot of staffing companies aren't doing that right now.
Facebook Meta was pushing Facebook groups, we know, for two reasons. One, it was in advertisements on TV and streaming, so they want to push it. But also, two, the other day, this stuck out to me. I was on my Facebook app. The little at the bottom, there's the 5 or 6 icons. There was a pop-up that said, "Don't forget about groups" or something like that. They're pushing them.
Yep.
When the algorithms push something, we have to, for lack of a better word, exploit it and take advantage, because people are going to spend time there.
They are.
Thank you, Brad, for joining us today with a lot of the background and some helpful tips on the changes coming to Facebook jobs here on February 22nd, 2022.
Yeah, thank you, Matt. And do everything you can right now to be proactive so that on February 22nd, it doesn't impact you too much.
That's all we had today here on LinkedIn Live. My name is Matt Lozar, Director of Recruitment Marketing at Haley Marketing. Thank Brad again, our Chief Strategy Officer, for joining us. And check out his blog on haleymarketing.com. It's titled, it's talking about Facebook Marketplace jobs are disappearing. Here's what you can do about it, from the end of December 2021. A lot of great helpful tips here that we talked about here to help your staffing company overcome these changes to Facebook jobs. But thank you for joining us here again today, whether you're watching live or on demand. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care.